Welcome back, true believers and all you merry Marvelites, to yet again another Marvel's Avengers status update related video, primarily regarding some current news that we do have for the game that is rather worrisome to say the least. But regardless, I hope you're all doing well and you're enjoying your 4th of July weekend, because even though there's not a whole lot of information surrounding the overall spectrum of Marvel games occurring right now, whether or not that relates to Insomniac's SpiderMan franchise or even Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, I did want to take time during this holiday just to kind of update you about where exactly Marvel's Avengers stands, what we can expect in the near future with that of Black Panther and Spider-Man, and what is said to occur next within the updated roadmap that Crystal Dynamics is planning to release in the next few weeks. So if by any chance you do enjoy these news updates pertaining to the current status of Marvel's Avengers and where exactly the game can land next once we do receive more news in the future, be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying what you're hearing or just liking me discussing about it, and it would surely mean a lot to me in more ways than you can imagine. But as for the news itself, we're basically waiting for the next major piece of content to drop for the game, which I'm sure all of you know by now is none other than the Black Panther War for Wakanda expansion, which is going to be included within the game for absolutely free within the month of August. And following Black Panther's release, we all know by now that Crystal Dynamics is still planning to go through with their partnership that they have made with Sony in order to release Spider-Man as a fully exclusive character on the PlayStation platform, which again is both for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. And while we were already aware that Spider-Man was said to release sometime after Black Panther, we didn't know exactly when that would be, considering that he was first leaked to actually launch within Marvel's Avengers sometime in March of this year. And even though this latest article from Murphy's Multiverse does dive a little bit deeper into the specifics of Spider-Man's release plans, there is another bit of news which I do find even more important as to when exactly the characters in the game are planned to launch. So this article on murphysmultiverse.com was written by Joseph Abril, stating that Marvel's Avengers Spider-Man DLC is eyeing the end of 2021 for its release, where Marvel's Avengers set out to accomplish an interesting goal. Through the games as a service model, we would get a continuous expansion of its core roster. We've already gotten our hands on Kate Bishop and Clint Barton, with Black Panther to release next month. There was also the open question about when we can expect the PlayStation exclusive Spider-Man. Well, in the FKNA podcast, lead animator Anthony Gartmeyer from Crystal Dynamics offered some insight into the game's development, which included the following line of him stating, "Spider-Man is the end of the year." That is all I can say. And moving on to the piece of the article which I actually find the most interesting and problematic is that Gartmeyer also discusses the details on how long heroes take to get developed, such as around 4 to 8 months until the animation is finished. We have to also keep in mind that early data mines showed that a lot of prep work has been accomplished for the game, which is rather common for the games as a service genre. So they might have done a lot of prep work to keep a tight timing for the releases. Of course, the pandemic and launch bugs have delayed the game's initial roadmap. A potential December release would align with Spider-Man No Way Home, but we'll have to wait for an official word. So it was pretty much common sense at this point that if Spider-Man was not going to release in the original leak date within March of 2021, and instead was going to come out sometime after Black Panther in August, co-releasing him alongside of the next major MCU Spider-Man film of No Way Home in December would make the most sense. That way, all eyes would be on Spider-Man at that point in time, and he would be a major presence within the mainstream media. So obviously wanting to play as Spider-Man in a massive Marvel video game would surely get people interested to dive back into Marvel's Avengers if they include a big of a character like that of Spider-Man. Still, I do have some major concerns as to how exactly Spidey is going to turn out within the game's overall gameplay structure, and I'm really hoping that his combat and traversal will be something completely different compared to the other heroes that we can currently play as in the game. Because even though Black Panther is a relatively beloved character by the general public, if Crystal messes up Spider-Man's gameplay in any way, shape, or form, then I can guarantee you right now that that is going to be the final curtain call for Marvel's Avengers. But as for the main element of this article, which I find the most drastic out of everything else that was discussed, is that apparently over at Crystal Dynamics, it does take around 4 to 8 months to completely finish all of the main animations for a specific hero character to be included within the game's overall roster. If any of you recall at this point, Kate Bishop was the first additional hero to be included within Marvel's Avengers for free, who was originally delayed from October onto December of 2020. And due to that pretty big time gap, that in turn created another massive delay for all the other heroes to follow Kate afterwards. Because following Kate's release, we did receive Clint Barton Hawkeye a few months later within March of 2021. And now that we're getting Black Panther in August, that is going to be a total of 5 months until the next major hero is included within this game. And if we take Spidey into consideration, where he's likely going to release sometime in December, that would be a 4-month time gap from when Black Panther is going to release in August. Now normally, if this was just a regular single-player story-driven game like that of Spider-Man or what we're going to see with Guardians of the Galaxy, with all these additional hero expansions and character storylines added post-launch, I wouldn't really think too much of it. It's just that it's taking them a long time to develop the game, especially given the current working from home situations. And while that still is the case, we do have the massive problem of this game being a live service model, where its main goal is to include content on a consistent basis to try and convince players to keep playing the game. So if we keep getting these continuously long gaps of time in between these hero launches within Marvel's Avengers, within the realm of 4 to 8 months per hero, that is not going to work for a game of this structure. And considering the massive lack of players that this game is already accumulating, having these elongated time gaps in between heroes is not going to do the game any favors. I'm obviously still going to play the game once they include Black Panther and Spider-Man, but if we have to keep waiting for this amount of content to be included at such a long period of time, I'm not going to give the game itself any time of day. So in the end, everyone, while it is nice to know that Spider-Man is pretty much confirmed at this point to release either in November or December of 2021 to coincide with the release of Spider-Man No Way Home, knowing how long we're going to have to wait for each of these new heroes to be included within the game is essentially a whole lot worse for wear. Although nothing would make me happier if this game could do a complete turnaround similar to that of Battlefront 2 and just surprise everyone by the time that they release the Black Panther expansion. But based on everything that we have seen from the game in the past, I'm just not going to be holding my breath anytime soon. And with all that said, everyone, that's the video that I have for you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think about all this latest Marvel's Avengers news, and are you personally someone who's pretty darn excited or couldn't be less interested in the upcoming Black Panther DLC? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below, leave a like on the video, and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy, and without further ado, peace out.